So far, our application is handling only one route, that is /. So any request coming from the / is handled by this get post method, which is of course in the routes folder in this post file. Okay, so here, so the get post, any request coming to the / is given this response. Okay, but in real application, there is a lot more to be done. Maybe you need to go to the database, get the exact post, and give that back to the user, right? So it could be very simple to very complicated. What we need to do is we need to extract this logic from this routes folder to a different folder. So any request comes here, we give that responsibility to a different section of our application, and that is controllers. So just like we have the routes file, routes folder, and it has files, in a similar way we're going to have another folder called controllers, and controllers also will have a similar structure like post.js. So any post request we want to handle, we will give that responsibility to the controller instead of trying to handle everything within the routes. So let's go ahead and create this controllers folder. Okay, so you can do that manually, or you can do from command line. I'm going to do from here, make directory controllers. Okay, and I'm going to create a file within the controllers, touch/controllers, and let's call it post.js. So any post related request we will pass to this controllers post.js file. Okay, and here, in a similar way we did with routes, in fact we can even copy this. Okay, just to make things easier, let's copy and let's paste here. So we export get post, we can change this or we can leave it as it is, that's fine. Okay, so what we can do is we can send the same response. Okay, so this is happening now in the controllers. Okay, so we don't have to do it inside the routes. Now all we have to do is point it to the controller. So let's first bring in the controller. Okay, so what we can do is we can write it in a variable. Let's call it const, let's call it post controller equals to require, and what we want to require, we want to require the controllers, this file. So we need to go one step up in the directory. So one step up because we are inside the routes. So one step up, then we go to the controllers post. Okay, so this way we can access the methods from this post controller. Okay, and here what we're going to do is we're going to use, but this is not exactly going to work like that. So what we need to do is we need to bring in the express as well, because we're going to use the express apps router method. Okay, the entire application we have built based on the express, right? We have stored in app variable and everything is happening there. So to use those routes we can use express here. So const express equals to require express. The reason we are requiring express is we want to use the express router. Okay, so here let's create a variable called router equals to express router, and you invoke like so. Okay, and this method is actually has to be a capital router. Okay, it's not a small r, it's a capital R. Okay, so this way we have access to the express router. Now this entire routes file can be used as a middleware into our application. Okay, now with that what we can do is we can use, let's write here router.get. Okay, so previously we have done this get, the app.get directly here, but we're going to change that because now this get request will be handled by the express router. Okay, so router.get, so what do we want to get? We want to get the /. Okay, and then anything we get here we want to hand that over to the controller, so controller will take care of it. Okay, so this is post controller, and inside post controller we have this method that will handle. Okay, beautiful. Okay, let's get rid of this now, and instead what we can do now is module dot exports equals to router. Okay, so this way we require express so that we can use express router, and using the express router, this get post or any route handling we can do directly from this routes. Okay, so when we get request to the forward slash, we give that responsibility to this controller get post method, and that will do whatever it needs to be done, and at the moment it is just giving the simple message. Okay, so this way we have extracted the logic from the routes to controllers. Okay, you see how we are building this pattern of building application. This is beautiful. Okay, now with this there is one more thing we need to do. We need to go back to the app.js because we are handling the get directly here. So here this will be use instead, it's not get anymore, because now this route works as a middleware. Okay, previously we were handling the route request like so using the get, but now that we are handling that using the express router in the routes folder, what we do is we use that as a middleware. So we can change this to post routes. Okay, so we're not just destructuring one method, we need the entire routes here. Okay, so this way these post routes works as a middleware. Okay, so any request we get here on the forward slash will be passed to the post routes, and then post route will give that to the controller, and that is how our application will continue to work. Okay, so let's give it a try to make sure everything is working. Okay, so looks like it is. Let me restart one more time. Okay, let's go here. Beautiful.